Welcome back, everybody, to the Arizona Diamondbacks franchise here on MLB The Show 19. Here we are, everybody. The World Series is finally here, and we're going to be taking on our good friends, the Boston Red Sox. So here's a look at the playoff MVPs up to this point for us. I have to say it's David Peralta. I mean, Jake Lamb played really well in Game 5 against the Reds, but David Peralta has been so good for us, and the bats have gone for a lot of power, but not really consistency. Our lineup has 23 home runs, which for a span of 10 games is a large number. And then looking at Boston, this is obviously a very talented group. I think the only big difference is they no longer have Mookie Betts because we kind of stole him. And then the pitching for us has been great. And when I say the pitching, I mainly mean the starting pitching. The bullpen's had its ups and downs, but outside of Todd Woodruff, the rotation has been lights out. And for Boston, they have some really good players on their rotation, like Chris Sale. They also have this guy named Chris Sale. You can't forget about Chris Sale. But outside of him, there is some talent. Brad Keller, Robbie Erlin, Eduardo Rodriguez. Those guys aren't bad by any means. And this Boston team won 118 games, remember, without Mookie. So, yeah, this team is really good. And we just have to embrace the role as the underdog. We won 99 games, best record in the NL, but we have to embrace the role as the underdog and get the upset here over the Red Sox. And that starts here in Game 1. Welcome, everybody, to Fenway Park as the 2021 World Series is set to kick off between the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Boston Red Sox. Have to use my Boston accent when I'm saying the Boston Red Sox throughout this series. So, these two teams are very good, and they're coming off big AL and NLCS series respectively. The Red Sox swept the Cleveland Indians. Meanwhile, Arizona only needed 5 to beat the Cincinnati Reds. But both of these teams had some trouble in their divisional series when it came to teams up in the Bronx, as the Red Sox needed 5 games over their rival Yankees, and then Arizona needed 5 against the New York Mets. Diamondbacks came back from a 2-0 lead in that series. But tonight, it's going to be a pitching duel. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's probably going to be a pitching duel featuring 2 of the best pitchers in all of baseball. Chris Sale for the Red Sox, Robbie Ray for the Diamondbacks. These are 2 of baseball's best. And expect to see a lot of strikeouts, not a lot of runs, not a lot of base runners today. That's what you should expect, even though these are 2 of the most talented lineups in baseball. I mean, you got guys like Mookie Betts, Jake Lamb, David Peralta, Marcell Ozuna for the Diamondbacks, and for the Red Sox, Xander Bogaerts, JD Martinez, Andrew Benintendi, Rafael Devers. There are some really good players on this team. So let's take a look at the Arizona Diamondbacks lineup today. Nick Williams, Marcell Ozuna, David Peralta, Mookie Betts, for rookie Rob Robertson at the DH spot, Mike Moustakas, Marcus Semien, Jake Lamb, and Wellington Castillo. So here's the lefty Chris Sale, and to make matters worse, the Diamondbacks don't do that well against lefties because a lot of their top batters, like David Peralta, like Jake Lamb, are lefties. So it should be a challenge for this group, but anything's possible. And immediately Nick Williams strikes out. I expect that to be a foreshadowing of what to expect. There's David Peralta going down on the 95-mile-an-hour fastball. That'll end the top of the first. 1-2-3 inning for Sale. So let's take a look at this Red Sox lineup. And outside of Mookie Betts, this core has pretty much stayed intact from their 2018 World Series team. They're going with Xander Bogaerts, Andrew Benintendi, JD Martinez, and a bunch of other scrubs who I have no time to read. So here's Robbie Ray on the mound. Cy Young winner a couple seasons ago. This season, he was second in the Cy Young voting behind Noah Syndergaard, and he's played like a Cy Young here in the postseason. 2-0 in 3 starts, 1.64 ERA. His first batter of the game, Xander Bogaerts, is going to draw a walk, so that'll bring up Andrew Benintendi with a runner on. He's shopping gap. That one gets past the glove of Peralta, and immediately, the Red Sox have 2 runners on and no outs. Shaky start here in Game 1 for the Diamondbacks. Then the former D-back, JD Martinez, draws a walk. Bases are juiced. No outs, remember. Big K, though, however, on Rafael Devers, the following batter. He'll go down on the slider, but this inning has been really ugly. Following batter with a weak line out to first. Lamb catches it. 2 away, and Arizona's almost out of this inning. Fly ball to David Peralta, who straight up drops it. Is that Nelson Aguilar out there in the outfield? My goodness. 2-run score, and David Peralta just flat out dropped it. That's not a base hit for Jackie Bradley Jr. Let's take another look at it. Solid shot into left, but it's a routine out, and I guess it's for World Series jitters. I don't know, but that's the difference of 2 runs right there. That's inexcusable if you're David Peralta. And then the inning does end with a Nick Williams fly out, but ouch. I don't think that inning could have been any more just flat out uglier. On to the second inning, Mookie Betts getting struck out at his old ballpark. Did get a standing ovation from the Red Sox crowd, by the way. And here's a look at the playoff bracket if you were curious to see how these two teams got here to the big dance. And then Mike Moustakas also strikes out in the 96-mile-an-hour fastball. So Boston's looking quite good so far, but Robbie Ray's starting to get on a little bit of a roll as he does get the strikeout right there. And then he gets another one, this time off the bat of Xander Bogaerts. And in the second inning, a lot better than the first one. It's now on to the third inning, and Arizona's bats aren't doing too hot. Wellington Castillo with a weak ground out. Chris Sale has a perfect game through 3 frames up to this point. But Robbie Ray's looking pretty good himself. And right as I say that, Andrew Benintendi is going deep over the monster. And the Sox have taken a 3-0 lead. Ouch. Not an ideal way to start off a World Series if you're the Diamondbacks. JD Martinez, it does strike out, and then the following batter, Rafael Devers, does join him. So I guess there's that for the positivity train. So now on to the fourth inning, and the K train will continue. Nick Williams strikes out. And then here's Marcell Ozuna trying to crack a spark into this Diamondbacks offense, and he's going to do just that. Over the monster it goes, and the D-backs are on the board. Marcell Ozuna with his 4th home run of the postseason, first of a World Series, and Arizona is on the board, but they probably won't get too much more. David Peralta strikes out, and then to end the inning, Mookie Betts, he's just a window shopper because he's just looking. On to the bottom of the 4th now, 2 outs, fly ball deep into left. Peralta does not drop it, so it looks like Nelson Aguilar has been replaced with Kenny Golladay. Let's move on now to the top of the 5th inning. Mike Moustakas goes down looking as Chris Sale is just placing these balls wherever he wants, all over the strike zone. That one was right down Main Street. Still going to get Marcus Semien down swinging. Now to the bottom of the 5th, Robbie Ray's going to plunk the batter, and he is all smiles. He's grinning like he just accomplished something, which is kind of funny. And then he's going to steal second. Castillo's throw not in time. So the Red Sox are going to get a nice base runner 90 feet away from home as he would advance third off a sac fly. But it doesn't matter as JD Martinez goes down looking. On to the 6th, Red Sox up 3-1. Maybe they'll blow it. Just ask Steph Curry as there's Jake Lamb striking out. And then 2 gone now for Nick Williams coming off an NLCS where he played very well against the Reds. Plenty of base hits. He gets the single. That'll bring up Marcell Ozuna. Had the big home run in the 4th inning. And I'm sorry, kids, that does not look like a home run. Ground out to second. Top of the 6th down. Score remains 3-1. Robbie Ray does get a strikeout. He is on a little bit of a roll now after a pretty slow start. And an ugly swing from Jackie Bradley Jr. Let's just say he's going fishing. On to the 7th inning now. David Peralta grounds it right into the glove of Rafael Devers, who tries to make a play, but is unable to. That'll get Arizona a base runner. Following batter, Mookie Betts gets a single. So the Diamondbacks with 2 on, no outs. And it looks like manager Alex Cora is going to come out. He's going to announce Chris Sale's day is done. And what a game Chris Sale had. 6 innings, only 1 earned run up to this point, striking out batters left and right. He's going to tip his cap to the crowd, giving him an ovation, and a well-deserved ovation at that. So here comes Jeremy Mejia into the game. He's pitched well so far in the postseason. 6.1 innings, has not allowed a run, but he may need to check for the PEDs in his back pocket. Back when he was the Mets, he was suspended for life by baseball for using PEDs, but obviously he's been reinstated, as you can tell. He strikes out Rob Robertson, his first victim, and then the Red Sox are going to make another pitching change. Jake Diekman now going to try to get the lefty-on-lefty crime, even though batters are a perfect 1,000 when hitting against Diekman this postseason. But that's likely going to change, and it does, as Moustakas flies out. Bogarts makes the play, and then 2 gone for Marcus Semien, who's going to ground out. So the Diamondbacks get 2 runners on with no outs and proceed to do absolutely nothing. On to the bottom of the 7th, Robbie Ray is still in the game as he does get the nice strikeout right there of Caruso. And then he's going to strike out another batter. So Robbie Ray's day will likely come to an end. Only 1 earned run. Only 1 earned run. Looking at you, Peralta. On to the 8th now, Andrew Miller entering the game. Miller was with the Diamondbacks last season, so I guess this is a little bit of revenge for him, as Wellington Castillo's going fishing. I don't know what on earth he was swinging at. And then 2 gone for Nick Williams, who draws a walk, so maybe Arizona can start a little bit of a rally. Here's Marcelo Zuna, nice grounder, but Rafael Devers is right there. Top of the 8th over, Sox are looking good. Let's move to the bottom of the 8th now. Robbie Ray's day is done. He pitched very well, but it likely will not amount to the win. Diego Castillo entering the game, only his 2nd postseason appearance, but he's been very good for this D-backs team over the regular season. And I say regular season because the regular season of a World Series are 2 different beasts, and not the start to the World Series he wanted, allowing the single for Bogarts. He does strike out Benintendi, so that'll get a runner down. And then the following batter, J.D. Martinez, he's also heading back to the dugout, so it looks like the Diamondbacks won't have anything to worry about. But Rafael Devers is walked, so 2 on, 2 out, and the Red Sox are going to put the money in the grave as that one is over the fence, and Boston is now up by 5. Over the monster it goes. Jed likes to jerk off. I know not November. Jed Jerko making it 6-1. And would the inning finally end? No, it won't. Jackie Bradley draws a walk on the inside sinker. Now it's over as Caruso strikes out. No relations to Laker legend Alex Caruso. Let's move it to the 9th inning now. Domingo Tapia is into the game here for the Sox as he tries to finish it out. Red Sox with a comfortable 5-run lead, but David Peralta has a little something to say about that. Peralta trying to avenge his mistake from the first inning. He goes deep, barely fair and right. His first home run of a World Series, 8th of the postseason. That's a large number, Chief. So now Mookie Betts is up, and maybe Arizona has a chance to start a rally, or maybe not, as he grounds out to 3rd. Following batter, Rob Robertson strikes out on the low slider. So now the Diamondbacks are down to their final out, and it's Mike Moustakas, and he's been down to his final strike before in important playoff games, and he's clutch. And he is clutch here, getting that one over the Green Monster. However, instead of tying the game up, he cuts the lead down to 3. Still not looking good for Arizona, but Jeremy Jeffries will enter the game for Boston, former Milwaukee Brewer. He's going to try to get the save and finish off what Domingo Tapia was unable to do, and it looks like that's what's going to happen. Weak flyout for Marcus Semien, and the Boston Red Sox have won game numero uno of the World Series, and Boston is 3 wins away from a championship, but can't get too ahead of ourselves. There's still plenty of baseball left to be played in this series, and Arizona, they had their mistakes at times. Once again, I'm looking at you, David Peralta, but there's nowhere else to go but up, and if Arizona can get some momentum that they got from the NLCS, don't count these boys out. Yeah, they're the underdogs. Yeah, they're the Goliaths in this, or they're the Davids in this scenario, not the Goliaths, obviously. But you know what? There's still a chance, and maybe, just maybe, the Diamondbacks can fuel together a run and get an upset as this series goes along. 6-3, your final score. Chris Sale with the win, Robbie Ray with the loss. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode and your Friday. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Hey,